guys, so today I'm going to be showing you how to make some doll beanies like these out of some socks. And what you're going to need is a sock, needle and thread, and some scissors that you know for a fact can easily cut fabric. Now I myself do not actually have any proper thread, so I'm going to be using embroidery floss. It doesn't work as well, but you know, it could still work. And with the other hats, I used silver string, although it wouldn't really matter what color you use because you're going to turn it inside out and you won't actually see the thread. But, you know, I'm all out of silver string. This is like all I have left. First, and this isn't really a step that has to do with making the beanie, so I guess just skip over this. But you want to take your needle and put it somewhere, because you're not going to need it for the first part. Put it somewhere where you know you can find it. I'm going to be putting it in this little holder thing, which is where a bunch of my needles came. I do not know what happened to those two that I'm missing, but just set those on that table over there. Okay, so the second thing you're going to do, unless you didn't count the needle thing as a step, which it really doesn't, is you're going to take your sock, and as you can see mine, I don't know if you can really make it out, has like this little texture thing where up here it's different than down here. So this is where I'm going to be cutting. So you're just going to take your scissors and very carefully try to make the line as straight as you can, although that can be a little bit difficult. So it doesn't matter that much how straight the line is. So there we go. We got that. And then we're going to turn it inside out. So although with this one I don't think it really matters, but so that the side that you want to be on the inside is facing out, and this is going to be the inside piece for me. But you know, you do you. Okay, now we need our needle. So just, if you have multiple ones like I do, just take a random one out. It doesn't really matter which one. And then you're just going to take your embroidery floss, which I have very, very wrapped up because I think I just pulled too much out at one point. This is okay. Now that I got it all unraveled, we're just gonna take some of that out, which I think we already have a lot out, so we might not have to do this. And I don't know if you can see it or make it out, but mine is like I separated it and we got 3 strands over here and 3 over here. So I'm just gonna cut this big thin part off because I want to use the whole thread. I mean, like I said, it really doesn't matter what kind of thread you use, just as long as you have a needle that it can fit through. You could probably use yarn, but I mean, I don't recommend it. It's not going to be as clean as if you use, say, actual thread or embroidery floss. As you can see with this one, I made a little bit of a mistake because I don't know where I put it. Number one, I sewed it right side out, so then when I put it inside out, it's inside out. That doesn't make sense. But as you can see, I don't know how to hem things. But this thing right here, it's very raw. With these ones, you want to use the very end part of your sock. Okay, that's the wrong piece. But the very end part, this thing, and this part's going to go on the bottom. So, like with this one I made of ski sock, and this one's just a random sock. So you have your needle threaded, and you're just going to take your sock, and you're going to start going just a basic in and out stitch because you're going to need to tighten it later. This is a little bit more difficult with ski socks, but you know, and they don't honestly turn out as good as these kind of socks in my experience anyways. You might have maybe you have thinner ski socks or something. Also, I suggest using socks that maybe have a hole in them, or like or don't fit or something, like you can't wear them, rather than socks that, unless you have like a sock that you really like the design and you really want that to be a hat. But normally I would in fact suggest that you just use like a normal sock that has holes in it or something, so you won't really be missing anything. Now, as you can see, this is very sloppy because it doesn't really matter all that much, and what you're going to do is you're going to loop that through and tighten it, get it real nice and tight, and then you're going to want to get both of your strands like this and you're going to tie them together like so. This is like very simple step, you know, it's just literally just tying it together. Once you got it in a nice tight knot like I do, you're gonna take your scissors and trim off the excess, but not so much, you don't want to trim it too low or else it could come undone, although, you know, that usually doesn't happen with me. And then you're just gonna turn it inside out like this, and I didn't really make this for a specific doll, but I'm just gonna use Persephone. Now I actually do suggest that if you're making it for a doll with ears like her, you cut like little holes, although since I'm probably mostly going to use this on Ever After High dolls, so I'm not going to do that. But you're going to slip it on your doll's head like this, and I make most of my hats longer than I want them to be, so I'm going to show you, if it is longer than this, I'm going to show you how to fix that. Okay, so you're going to take your hat, this thing, and you're going to just loop it through the tip and put it on here. Now this is probably the step you could have guessed. Like, if you didn't, then you, I don't know what to say actually. I tried to not be rude, so I'm not going to say anything actually. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. As my mama always told me. Actually, she didn't. Just like to say that kind of thing sometimes, dang it. I'm pretty sure that I used a different stitch on each one of these hats, but just as long as it does the job, which it holds this part down, it works, you know? Okay, so once you got it all sewed as much as you think it should be, you're just gonna tie it like you did with the inside part. I suggest making 3 or 4 knots, which I suppose I should have mentioned about the inside part. 3 or 4 usually works, although, you know, it's a really thick string, I think maybe just 2 would work. But if it's like actual thread, which I don't have, but like that you actually probably should use, then definitely 3, 4, 5, as much as you think is necessary. And then you're just gonna cut off the excess like I already did. I didn't film that because why would I? That would be entirely pointless. Then you're gonna slip it onto your doll and voila! You can pretty much clearly tell that I didn't actually make it for Persephone, but you know, I don't actually know how you would make one that would leave an allowance for the ears, but probably just, I don't know how you hem things, but just make holes and then hem the inside. So thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, although I might not be able to see the comments. My channel's weird. And yeah. I really need to figure out how to make an intro and an outro.